caucus for Hillary Clinton.
I came to caucus for Marco Rubio.
I'm the president and founder of Hoyas for Hillary.
I came here to caucus for Marco Rubio.
Thank you all for coming out tonight. A lot of familiar faces in the room. For those of you that I haven't had the pleasure to meet, I'm Mo Leahy. I am the executive director of the Georgetown Institute of Politics and Public Service, or GU Politics, as we like to call it. And we could not be more pumped about tonight. We really kind of have two different things going on in one, with some really awesome, smart people to help guide us through it.
Thanks for having us, everyone. I'm very excited to be here tonight. I left the AP just about 6 months ago, where presidential politics was my life, so this is really fun to be able to dip my toe back into it here with you all tonight. And I want to just dive right in with you guys.
Iowa is a very diverse state politically. Yes, it is true that it is 90% white, but if you think about Iowa, Nevada, South Carolina, and New Hampshire, if you take the four collective early states in the process, they do collectively make up and are representative of the nation as a whole. And so the early states process does actually work quite well. And Iowa, very specifically, is a place where politically it is very, very diverse. There is a real stream of populism that runs through both parties. It's why you see candidates like Barack Obama, who were successful in Iowa unexpectedly, why Bernie Sanders has caught fire while Donald Trump. It is a place where an outsider who is not a part of the establishment can catch on. And if you think about the fact that Chuck Grassley, who's consistently one of the most conservative members of the U.S. Senate, is elected there, but Tom Harkin, who is also consistently one of the most liberal members of the U.S. Senate until he retired in the last cycle, that they both get elected from the same place, that politically it's actually quite a diverse place.
There should be a good amount of bipartisan agreement tonight, so I'll co-sign everything you just said. I think of the Winston Churchill quote on democracy, that it is the worst form of government except for every other kind of government. And sometimes I think that applies to the current nominating system we have. There are 1,000 different ways to sort of poke holes at it and say, well, this is wrong with the system, this is wrong with Iowa, or the different states that come early. And yet, ultimately, I'm not sure there's a better way when you really get down to the details of how you do it in a different way than what we have now, for all the reasons that Sara talked about. You have real engagement, you have a real grassroots level, you have this opportunity for really unexpected things to happen to people who are presumed to be front runners, who should be able to just come in and walk away with the nomination, or at least that's the conventional wisdom. Iowa has a way of overturning that. You have all these different strands of politics, sort of the deep conservatism, but also this real history of progressive politics there. And I agree, and I think it is not an insubstantial criticism that the racial diversity of Iowa does not reflect where the country is, and that's why I think Iowa is part of the process, being put in the context of the rest of these states.
So I want to talk to you about why I support Hillary, and it really for me comes down to two things. It's passion and qualifications. And I'm going to start with passion because I think that's the more important one, to be honest, because I think it's the underrepresented one right now. And so when anybody asks me why I support Hillary, I always say it's because she, through her entire career, has stood up and fought for people who can't fight for themselves. And just on a personal level, the first time I was really able to witness Hillary Clinton in action was, I was 5 years old in 9/11. She was the person when everybody else in the country was focusing on how we were going to handle the situation. We were attacked. What were we going to do about that? Which was obviously a very important conversation to be having. She made sure that we were also having the conversation of how we were going to take care of these brave men and women who took care of the city and protected and helped and saved so many people. And so for me, that is just what I always go back to.
Vote for Rand Paul tonight. I'm just going to give you a few of the reasons why I stand with Rand, and I hope that you guys will too. So Rand is the only candidate that stands for liberty and for the entire Bill of Rights. Rand knows that we shouldn't give up our privacy for a false sense of security, and that invasive NSA spying on millions of innocent citizens has gone on for far too long. Rand is the only GOP candidate who stands for peace and putting a stop to our never-ending stream of needless foreign interventions that cost our country trillions of dollars. Rand wants to keep our country safe.
The numbers are shaking out in interesting ways. So we're going to do something real quick here to allow the smaller groups to understand where they need to get for viability before we close this window. Which is, we're going to count everybody here real quick, not how many are in each preference group, but what the total number is, so we can declare the viability number. Everybody hold your hand up, and then Scott and Kayla are going to count, and as they count you, you're going to put your hand down.
Sean, 7 hand out ballots. Everybody vote. 10, 11, hand place. And then you can return them to Sean, or Jay, or myself. You can hand them to me or to Sean.
You know that was
Yeah, so we have 41 members caucusing for the Democrats right now. For a preference group to stay viable through the first round, they need to have at least 7 members in order to count as 15%.
So, my name is John Erith, as many of you know, and as you may have gleaned from my speech earlier, it is very important to me to have strong, pragmatic, conservative solutions, wherever those solutions might come from. I personally support Governor John Kasich as the best opportunity to achieve these solutions. However, I will do a good job of representing this district's interests, and representing a strong conservative future for the Republican Party if I am elected as delegate. And for that reason, I encourage you to vote.
Taking a little bit of a step toward that increased regulatory governance. You have to make very strong, wide brush strokes in this direction, because you're not going to get everything passed. So the only way you're going to get a sizable portion of it passed is if you take a very, very strong stance in the beginning and say, this is what we want from Wall Street, this is our, and you have to paint that wider theme out.
Hot off the presses, everybody. Good evening from the Georgetown University Institute of Politics. We have breaking news tonight in the Mockus here at Georgetown. We had a spectacularly divided Republican Mockus. The results were so tight, but the winner tonight is Marco Rubio with 30% of the votes. It was a very, very close race. We had at 20% John Kasich with a surprise second place showing. Jeb Bush, he came in at third with 15%. There was a 4-way tie, exactly the same number of votes, or a 3-way tie for fourth place, between Ted Cruz, Fiorina, and Paul. And then finally, rounding out the GOP field in last place with 1 vote, Chris Christie. Now, as we all know and have learned tonight, the rules are very different on the Democratic side, so it's not even possible to have such a brokered party Mockus here tonight on the Democratic side. So, tonight, there were a total of 42 votes on the Democratic side, and we have Hillary Clinton with 35 votes for 8 delegates. Bernie Sanders squeaking by to make the threshold. He had 7 votes and gets 1 delegate out of tonight's contest.
Yeah, sure, it was really fun. I was interested how well Hillary Clinton did this evening. I thought, being a college campus, Bernie Sanders would have a much stronger showing. So I wonder if that sort of shows how it's going to go in Iowa, like in real life, because Bernie has a lot of enthusiastic supporters, but they might not be as invested in the whole process, so they might not show up as well. And I think this will actually be a good preview for what happens.
Well, of course, this is my first election I'm going to be voting in, period. And I'm from Massachusetts, so we have a primary system. So I've gone with my dad in the past, and I've observed the process. So it's different. You know, it's a much more impersonal thing in Massachusetts. You go, you cast your ballot, and it's done. I liked the community aspect here, but I could also see how that could have an impact on the election, you know, when you're voting with your neighbors.
It was absolutely fascinating because I'm from Indiana and it's a primary state, and it's just a very different feel. Like, it's very individualistic. You walk into a booth and you vote, and that's your decision. There's no, you can't campaign outside the door. But in Iowa, it's clearly just a very different feel. Like, the organizational is there, and it's just like, it's fascinating. I like it for Iowa. I don't think everyone should have it, obviously, so.
I think a lot of people are very confused about what a caucus is, and so it was really cool to see sort of how it would work, sort of like it is going to on Monday, and I think it was just a really valuable experience for the students, no matter where you really are.